Whenever I would feel something, like I remember one time we were driving and they said that some like house was haunted. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna even look in that direction. I'm sure if I looked, I would have like seen a ghost, but why would I? They just said it was haunted, you know? So I'm like, I'm not gonna go anywhere towards any paranormal activity, whereas other people probably were like, they got adrenaline from that, you know?
We didn't know it yet. Hey, Chris.
Do I know you?
But this summer. What the? Hey, leave him alone! Was about to be very different.
Hey, mommy, can I use that? Fabrizio's line.
Right. He's always saying mommy.
Oh my gosh, that was such a hit. I wish you were at the premiere. I mean, it was a blast.
I literally cried when I found out like I wasn't able to go.
I know. Luckily, your Fabrizio, he was a hit of the night, with everyone. So
anywhere he goes, he's a hit. He's amazing.
oh, it's so cool. Yeah, I wanted to, I kind of wonder, how did you guys build that chemistry? Because I heard it from the audience. Everyone just like loved the interaction. You could tell in the crowd when you guys were on screen together. I was curious, how did you guys build that chemistry? Because it came off so cool and natural, as if you were actually lifelong friends.
Friends, yeah. I mean, honestly, when we first met, we hit it off so easily. But our director, Marty, set us both down for like lunch, and she gave us a list of like 25 questions because she wanted us to bond. And it was like really deep questions about like our childhood and our goals and how we like viewed ourselves and our insecurities. And we just went back and forth and we answered them, and then we answered them like as if we were our characters. So as if I were Shauna and he was, why did I just blank on his name? Not Fab. Fab's character that I cannot think of right now. But
Yes.
And it was
I blanked on it too. I remember Chris,
character's name. And I said it so many times. But yeah, so anyways, we had these like 25 questions that we went back and forth, and honestly, it was so deep, but we got so close. We really bonded because we talked about things that most people don't just like talk about their first time meeting, So it was really cool.
As I spoke to Marty and Sherm about it, this is a different spin on the genre. We've had like 1,000, movies about vampires, but this had a really kind of an urban feel to it and look to it, set in New Orleans, which is, I'm going to ask you in a second too about your horror story, because everyone seemed to have something happen to them or experience some sort of paranormal. But what was just kind of the vibe of the film and being in New Orleans in general? Did it really add to the aura and atmosphere?
1,000%. Have you been to New Orleans?
I haven't, but watching this movie, I mean, I'm having second thoughts now.
Because it also feels like a little love letter to New Orleans, with the music. Talking about like what my family has been through with Katrina, and just all the like places that we went on location. I mean everything was on location, and it's just, I love New Orleans. That was my first time ever being there, was for this movie, and I gained 10 pounds because of the great.
I bet, yeah, with all those pastries and foods all over. Yep.
Everything, but yeah, it was great. I don't know what to say. I will say that I didn't have any creepy things. I didn't experience any creepiness while I was there. But I think it's because whenever I would feel something, like I remember one time we were driving and they said that some like house was haunted. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna even look in that direction. I'm sure if I looked, I would have like seen a ghost, but why would I? They just said it was haunted, So I'm like, I'm not gonna go anywhere towards any paranormal activity, whereas other people probably were like, they got adrenaline from that,
I'm curious, were you part of the Mason busted lip push-up thing? That was the talk of everyone, basically.
I was terrified because I was like, not to be like super professional, but I was like, how are we going to finish the scene? I was like,
real blood, actually, not fake blood, right? And all that.
People were trying to figure that out because when he was leaving, he was like holding his hand like this and blood was falling through his fingers. And so people were walking throughout the house and they saw blood on the ground and they were like, is this real or is this fake? And we were like, don't touch it, it's real. it's real blood. Like, it was crazy. And I blame Frankie. I'm pretty sure it was Frankie's fault because he always had us doing these little games and they were always really dangerous.
I can see that. I can see how he'd be the instigator of it all.
We're going to blame Frankie on that one.
I mean, you guys, I'm curious, how'd you guys connect kind of, because it seemed like you bonded. You had to bond on screen, but I'd imagine you bonded off screen too, as a group sort of. Is there any sort of activities you guys did or things to hang out to bring it to life on screen? Because it seemed like you guys were good friends, you know, and a ragtag group.
I mean, that was pretty, like, everything was pretty like authentic and organic. It was just, I don't know, like, I feel like the tone really starts with the director, and Marty is just super cool and super warm and welcoming. And so I think that just put everyone at ease. And so everyone just felt comfortable to be themselves and joke around. And of course, when it was like serious, like we got to business, but when, you know, when she doesn't say action, we can just like kind of hang out and we can talk. And that's what we did. We just did a lot of just talking and getting to know each other. And we hung out at the hotel a couple times and at a park. And yeah, it was pretty cool. Everyone has really dope personalities.
Yeah, everyone's very vibrant, you know, from what I got to experience firsthand meeting them. You know, the thing is, like, I always hear from people in horror movies, like, those sets are the most fun usually, you know, like what we see on screen is like, ooh, seems scary, but that's usually the most fun. Is there anything that stands to you, like offset or onset, that you guys did that kind of lingers in your mind besides the Mason incident? You know, what else kind of?
That was so intense. Probably the thing that first came to mind was when me and Fab shot the scene on the rooftop. It's actually the opening scene, but that was quarter, and I think it was one of the first shots that we did when we went back kind of during COVID. And so no one was in the French Quarter. And like,
Oh, wow.
New Orleans, but the French Quarter is like the most touristy, like there's time. And so, and when we originally started filming, it was in March and it was the week of like Mardi Gras. Like that's when I flew down. And so I saw like anywhere that I went in New Orleans, it was just packed. It was crowded. And so then to go back and for it to be like completely empty, it was a completely different New Orleans. I was kind of amazed. I was like, this is cool. This is beautiful. It was quiet and peaceful. And so that kind of stands out because it was just like, we were.
Oh, that's a once in a lifetime experience. You probably won't see that place quiet.
It really was. I was like, this is crazy.
Oh, wow. So I'm guessing you're in Chicago still currently doing med. Is that what you're filming now?
So currently I'm in Austin, Texas.
Oh, okay. Well, no wonder you weren't here 2 days ago. Okay.
I was in Chicago 2 days ago. I flew to Austin last night because
oh, wow.
Yeah, I had to be here for another premiere. But yeah, I'm currently filming Chicago Med, and the premiere was last night, which was really exciting.
You have so many premieres going on, which is wild.
I kind of do. But yeah, the premiere of Chicago Med premiered last night at 7 p.m. and I heard it was a hit. I heard everyone loved it. But yeah, my first time being in Chicago has been for Chicago Med.
And any favorite food spots? You know that's where it's gonna go to. What's your first impression of Chicago when you got there and the food?
Okay, one, I did not know that Chicago was such a city. Like I didn't realize that it was like a clean New York. Like I had never I didn't know that. I just only knew what I saw on the news. And so I had never really seen like the city part of it. Food. Everyone talks about the food in Chicago. All I'm going to say, maybe I don't know the places to go.
Yeah.
But experience what everyone's talking about. I'm just like, where is all of this? I did have a deep dish pizza because, and that was good. I had it from Leo Monati's.
That's what it is. Lumonati's. Close enough. So hey, at least they took you to the right pizza joint. So
good, but I feel like I don't know where to go. Like I'm just like, where are the places that I think I'm also very limited because I don't eat meat. So I
Okay. Well, that's I'm like all the beef places, Italian beef, all that goes out the window, and the steaks and all that. Yeah.
keep hearing about this chicken place that everyone, it's like, is it Harold's or
Harold's chicken. Yep.
yeah, I'm like, I can't experience that. So I just am not getting the true Chicago experience. But
Well,
I did, oh,
at least you know some of the spots now.
I know the spots. I know
Yeah.
where to tell people to go.
There you go. That's good enough. Well, come back here. Hopefully you got more filming to do, and become a regular, and good things happening to you. I really enjoyed your performance. I thought it was such a fun, I like when there's the scary part, but there's also a lot of humor to it. I thought it was a great script, and you guys had a ton of fun on screen. So I could imagine off screen too. So heck of a job, and you should be proud of the film.
Thank you so much, Jim. I appreciate that.